Hey everybody, welcome to tonight's or today or this morning's Flip PD event. My name is Andy Knieven, Flip Educator Innovation Lead, and I am thrilled that you have joined in to talk about our Flip PD event focusing on flip tips for social and emotional learning. So, yeah, hopefully you're seeing these slides, but if you are not connected with me, I would love to connect with you on all the socials at my handle at Mr. Coach K15. And Flip, formerly known as Flipgrid, has a new name of Flip, but also a new logo of a smubble, that smiling speech bubble, because we are still all about positivity and sharing, amplifying every voice, because our mission has stayed the same. The mission to make learning fun, fulfilling, and empowering for everybody. And that hour is such a critical part of this because we are 100% all in this and better together. Now, please feel encouraged, feel empowered to take screenshots, share in the chat, share outward any of those joys, those aha moments with us, and definitely tag the Flip team on all the socials. You can be found, or we can be found at Microsoft Flip, and again, tag me as well at Mr. Coach K15. But I am thrilled that you're here to talk about Flip and what we can do with Flip to support social emotional learning. Now, Flip is social learning. It is a space for you, your family, your classroom, and your whole community, however you choose to use it. It is safe, secure, and inclusive, which to create and use Flip, you can do that in 3 steps, which the first one is to create a group, and your group is your community. That is a space that you choose the permissions to invite others. You have permissions to have it be only for certain individuals. And this is a safe, secure place that you then spark conversations with what we call topics. And topics, these are prompts, ideas, questions to spark discussions, conversation, discourse, maybe even a debate. But what makes that so fun is that you are then empowering your learners to be creative. And that is my favorite part of starting using Flip, is to watch the magic happen. And I love sitting back and seeing the creativity shine from my students, but also see them and see members use Flip to be able to share their ideas, just like my amazing teammate here, Jaritza, who has used Flip to do check-ins, just like we should be doing to support our students with social emotional learning in the classrooms, is to have topics where students are doing check-ins on how they are feeling. And there's so many creative ways that you can use those camera effects and layer in things to just check in on how you are doing. Now, it's so simple to start a community and share that outward. And the best part about it is that Flip is free. There's no limit. You can use this, for as many groups, as many topics, as many members to support your whole community. Now, to support social emotional learning. Social emotional learning definitely has been something that has widely been talked upon, researched, and is something that really supports our whole dynamic of our students. And so social emotional learning can foster creative discussions, encourage all your scholars to learn about empathy, communication, problem solving, conflict resolution, and self-regulation of their emotions, which I think we can all agree that these are lifelong qualities that we know support student success academically, but also setting them up to be individuals who make great choices, who then can build positive relationships, and then they're able to collaborate and be successful in the workplace too. So recognizing how all of our emotions, recognizing how all of our emotions helps fit everything fit together like pieces of a puzzle. And then when we take those pieces, we can connect and build relationships with others. And that is so true. in the classroom, because no significant learning occurs without a significant relationship. And at this point of the year, it's never too late, even at this point of the year, to start building and continue strengthening those relationships across your school community. Now, my other amazing teammate, Jacob here, I want to give him a moment to be able to share some really great flip camera features that you can use to support our learners with Flip.
Students need to know that their teachers and their classmates care about them in a genuine way. So come on, let's have a look at a couple ways we can incorporate SEL in our classes. Whether your students are feeling like this, or they're feeling like this. If students feel like, today I don't want to show my entire face, that should be okay too. You can invite students to explore their happy place. Where do they go to relax? Where do they go to distress? And invite them to come back to that video over and over again. Maybe it's during finals week. Maybe it's during a big project. Maybe before that big math or science exam coming up. There's so many ways to explore relaxation. Invite them, see what they think. So just remember, however you decide to incorporate SEL into your classes, your curriculum, your assessments, your projects, is obviously up to you. Just make sure that those students really understand in a genuine, sustained fashion that you care.
And that is so true. Jacob shared some really great camera features and effects, but really what it comes down to is that you, as the lead of your classroom, genuinely share with your students that you care about them. And using Flip, we can do that with topics that focus on self-reflection, topics that allow students to be aware of their emotions throughout different times, but also to check in on their thoughts, their behaviors, their goals, strengths, challenges, biases, mindsets, and so many more. And all of these layer into how we behave in the classroom. But then also using topics for daily check-ins. And that's exactly like what my other amazing teammate Jaritza has shared with, of doing those check-ins to see how are we feeling, but also as a teacher, you can do that to just see what's going on with your students or your school, your community, to better support them. And I love also doing or having topics that then we send positive vibes to the members of our classrooms, to be able to have those affirmations that we can then we can replay as needed. A personal use that I had used Flip for in my classroom was having parents or guardians, caretakers send and share encouraging words to their students. Now, this was super incredible, especially at like high stakes assessment time of the year, where kind of we're at semester breaks or during exams or finals. But having a student, even with headphones in, you can see them just light up and shine when they hear somebody that they know cares about them and loves them, give them those words of encouragement, and that you could just see them kind of build a little more confidence in what they're about to do. But then also having that human connection. Again, restating it just, I mean, I know that this is something, another amazing teammate, Jess on the team, that, no significant learning occurs without significant relationships. And so that starting point to build those connections, even beyond the classroom curricular focus, and have the understanding of, I have this commonality with another peer. And it just bridges that connection to build comfort and confidence that when they speak up in class or they share their ideas, that they know that somebody else is actually, listening to them and respects them because they have another commonality out there too. And then simply stress relief. Teachers and students are both stressed, and I get it. I understand. I empathize with you that the idea that there's so much to juggle and balance. And so taking moments and using topics and Flip to be able to have that reminder of what was your best day? What was an amazing experience that you've had? And you can then watch that again and be able to have that comfort or that sense of calmness to say like, oh, that was such a great day. And it centers you again. Just like Jacob, having even using some of those backdrops or having that sense of peace within your response, it can just center somebody back to, take a moment, breathe, and then move into their next event. And that's exactly what I want to practice and try right now. So scanning that QR code on the screen will take you straight to a flip topic that, again, more amazing teammates that I have, Anne and Feli, Kamal, and we just had a recent event on holiday ideas and activities to wrap up the semester and the year at this point. But just like we wrap up, the time that we have, we also can wrap up gifts, which may be something that you gift to yourself, like a gift of self-care or mindfulness. And also that check in on how are you feeling. So join me, scan that QR, go to the link that's that's on the screen there, and I'll even throw that into the chat if you are joining in live that you'll see. But I'm going to jump to that flip topic here. And just like I shared here, having an idea, and actually let me switch cameras so that I can jump into the flip cam to demonstrate some awesomeness that we can do. So in the flip topic here, we're going to either do a temp check or we are going to share an idea that you have done to support social emotional learning. So I'm going to click this add a response and it's going to open up our flip camera. And hey, everybody, welcome again. And so I'm so glad that you're joining in because we are going to, one, look at a couple different features and effects. One of them that you saw Jacob showing was using backdrops to put yourself in like a nice, mindful, peaceful space. And so there are so many great backdrops that you could use to immerse yourself into those peaceful settings. But then also we have some new lenses that we can use. But before I add in that special lens, I'm going to add in just like my teammate Jaritza had done for doing a temp check. So let's add in that thermometer there. We're going to do a temp check. You don't have to have a thermometer to do a temp check, but it just is fun. And we're going to add in a little speech or a thought bubble really on this one. And we're going to add in some text. And so this is something that you and your learners can do. And it doesn't have to be something that they need audio because we're using visuals on this as well. But we can say, I'm feeling, and let's bring that over. And actually, let's change that background to make that clear. And so you're seeing how simple it is to be able to add in just a few little effects that makes your response just pop with a little bit more emotion and to be able to get a sense of how your students are feeling. Now, I can do simply a couple little stickers in here, a little text, and then we could add in some new web lenses. And these lenses are pretty amazing that we can go through. And maybe I want to support my students who aren't as camera ready. Maybe they're camera shy. I could use a lens here and say, I'm feeling pretty happy about the day, but I just don't want to be seen. But then there's some hidden gems that make me so happy to be able to share because you can click and say, oh, today I'm feeling a little, anxious on having a test or an exam or something that's happening in school. But then we have some really great ideas that we can use to check in with our students, even adding in some of these animal lenses. And so maybe I want to say, today I'm just not really wanting to talk much. I'm going to be quiet like a mouse. And so this is just a fun way that you can have your students give a little check-in on how they're feeling. And additionally, let's throw in one more example here, and that's like the weather, connecting it with how the day is outside. Maybe today is a sunny, rainbowy day. I'm really happy with it. Or maybe it's just something happened and I'm just a little stormy on the inside. And that's okay too. It's okay to feel however you feel. And that's the important thing, is to respect and recognize that for your students. Now, I'm going to close this out because maybe I want to use, and I could use those as well with some really dynamic stickers, because using our feelings monster, we could add in how we're feeling to say, I'm feeling so excited that I've joined with you today to learn about flip and social emotional learning. And again, so many creative, easy ways to use the flip camera within this important focus of our classrooms and making those connections with our students to learn about who they are and how they are feeling. So I'm gonna actually close out of that as just an example, but please feel empowered, encouraged to add that response into our topic here. So I'm going to jump back into our into my slide and quick transition. There we go. Beautiful. And so again, there are so many great uses of Flip that you can bring into your classroom. You don't have to start from scratch, just like having that topic on your check-in. There are so many topics out there in the Discovery Library that you can bring in and edit to fit your classroom culture, your language, your community, to make it the most meaningful as possible. And social emotional learning is front and center in the Discovery Library collections. And so you'll see that logo that's there. And in this topic, or in this collection, you'll find topics that cover a vastness of ideas like mindfulness, identity, reflections, music, self-expression, feelings, empathy, stress, mental health. Really, there are so many great ones that you should definitely check out. But then in the Discovery Library, we have wonderful partners like Empatico that really drives home the idea to strengthen and build powerful relationships within your classrooms and your communities. And one of them that I want to stress that really I enjoy, and I think that right now in the year is an important one to resurface, is making a connection with who you are and who is in your class or your community. The story of your name. What is your name? How do you pronounce it? But because right now there are schedule changes, we've had students move away or move in, and it's never too late to rebuild and strengthen those communities in your classrooms by learning who's there. And a great way to do that is with name pronunciations. And this is another fun example of using the flip camera to layer in stickers and text and those effects. So like my name is Andy, that's an easy one. However, Knieven is not always pronounced correctly. And so I usually have to correct or redirect on how that's pronounced. So now you can even say it and we can even learn. And of course, we have Becky Keene, the queen, and Sean, the sheep, and Monica, like harmonica, and of course, my friend Jaritza, like barista. And of course, when we talk about social emotional learning and Flip, we have to talk about the Microsoft Reflect Feelings Monster. And this just brings me so much joy, and just I want to hug the Feelings Monster as well, because there's so many great uses and topics that they have added into the Flip Discovery Library as well. And this one actually has hit home recently because when an individual approaches you, they tell you something that has happened. And for a child, it may sound like maybe they're tattling or they are telling something that's occurred. They may be telling you this because they don't know how to problem solve. They don't know how to approach it and find a solution on their own. So they're looking for help. And so the idea of asking for help and building that confidence, that comfort to be honest about what is challenging them. And when we recognize that within our classroom, our community, we can then find how we can support and all learn together. So this is another personal one that I really have enjoyed using over the years, is a topic for a mid-year check-in, simply to get a pulse on your school, on your class. And this is something that as a teacher you could use, as an administrator you could use, and moderation is another powerful use in Flip, because when you moderate a topic, only the lead sees that response. Now, of course, the individual who responded, they'll still see their response. It'll say hidden on their little thumbnail of within the topic, but only the lead sees it. And that's a really powerful way to build trust and security on building those relationships. Because a topic like this, where I want to know, what do students like about class? What don't they like? And that's a hard one that sometimes a teacher doesn't want to ask, is to ask their students, what don't they like? But then also to have built the relationships with your students that they know that they can be honest with you, but yet know that this is not an attack on you as a teacher or you as an administrator about the school and the culture. Because of course, students may say, I don't like assessments, I don't like this. We have to do certain things, but What can we do to better support you as a student? And that is what really drives home on this topic is what can I do? What do I need to know to better support you as a student? And this helps students on self-reflection as they also are setting goals about what they like about the last semester, the last quarter, or the last trimester, and what do they want to do better the next time. Because, I mean, as a science teacher, we talk about variables. And when you change a variable, you get a different solution. So if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. So if we change a variable, we may end up with a different solution. And of course, gifting yourself ways to be able to check in on yourself. Our friends, our family at within Microsoft at Take Lessons does exactly that. They are empowering educators to do what they love, and that may be to teach something that they're passionate about. And I encourage you, one, as a member of the Flip community, to join in on learning, but also maybe you're inspired and you're like, I'm passionate about this. I want to be a lead. I want to teach this. I want to share my knowledge on something. And you can do that too within Take Lessons. But check it out. And Take Lessons has gifted the promo code FlipFam for some free one-on-one lessons. And that right now is good through the end of the calendar year here in 2022. So until December 31st, take advantage of checking that out. In which recently I've done exactly that. Learning a few fun things and interests like ASL, American Sign Language, really has been supportive of my mind. But then also to be able to take something that I can further connect with my own kids. And that is exactly learning how to do a little bit of the ukulele, playing and learning some chords, learning some songs, just to make some fun sitting or have fun, make time with my daughter, my son, to be able to sit and sing and strum a few chords on the ukulele. So these are things that you can cherish and enjoy as a gift to yourself as well. Now, my other amazing teammate, Anne, who's on the call on the backside as well, but she recently took a lesson on watercolor within Take Lessons. And after a couple lessons, focusing on blending and on using the right tools, look at this beautiful landscape. I mean, this is something that I would want to put as like my backdrop within Teams. And that's exactly something that you could check out, which again is a way that you can find some inner peace or calmness within yourself. And there are so many lessons that you can explore within Take Lessons that focus on SEL, like yoga or meditation. And then there are even ones that you could explore that are free. So I encourage you, check out Take Lessons, check out things that you can do to better support yourself and get a pulse on how are you feeling. Now, of course, to get a pulse on how we're doing, Flip listens. And that's exactly what this link here, aka.ms/flip PD feedback. That's exactly what we want is what are you liking? What do you want to see to further empower every voice? And so take a quick moment to be able to give us some feedback on how are you feeling after learning about Flip today. Now, of course, I would love to connect with you, and our Flip team would love to connect with you as well on all the socials, and you can find us at Microsoft Flip. And again, my handle, my connection is at Mr. Coach K15. I would love to hear and see those aha moments. How are you utilizing Flip to further connect and learn and build those relationships with your students to really hone in on how they're feeling to better support them to strive and be successful in your classroom? So, of course, I want to take a moment to get a pulse on how are we doing within the call. And I know on the backside here, just checking in on how are we doing. All right. Like I said, if there aren't any questions, which I appreciate, but never hesitate to reach out to any of us on the Flip team. Again, you can find us at Microsoft Flip. And please, on behalf of the engagement team at Flip, we thank you. We thank you for everything that you are doing, for being part of the Flip community, and all you do to support and empower every voice wherever you are. So thank you.